I want to talk about you and hear about your story. I mean, right now, we're going to start off with all things Danielle, because yes, let's get to know you and your journey. So, where are you from? Where'd you grow up? What's been your life journey so far?
Awesome. I actually grew up in Westchester, New York, which gets a lot of slack because I did not grow up in the city. So yeah, I grew up with trees and I rode my bike. So when I go down to the city, all my cousins would like come for me. But I got into the industry. I'm actually a child actor. So I started when I was 3 years old, first in pageants. My family would tell you, I mean, nobody in my family is in the industry. I was just at a very early age bitten by the bug. And literally, anytime I would see TV, I would start copying them, mimicking them, putting on shows, dancing, and just, I mean, all over the place. Anybody who would listen to me, I'd talk to them. So, my parents, really helped me with that. And they were like, you know what, she needs to start doing some stuff. So I got into it. And then a lot of the times, because, they were NYPD officers, they were like, it was like, maybe we can just like ignore the agent and she won't know. And then every couple months, I'm like, Ma, how come the agent hasn't called me? You better call her up, And she'd be like, oh man. So, I mean, they really just always supported me, but it was very my thing. And I was kind of the driving force. One of
Oh,
my biggest accomplishments was I was in The Lion King on Broadway. I played
no
young,
way.
played young Nala, and I got that at 9, which was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I have to say, like in acting, I tell everybody this. I'm like, if you want to learn how to act, go to theater.
Mm,
That is where it starts.
really? So, walk me through this. So, I mean, like, you were a child actor. So, did you do like commercials and then theater throughout your, high school years? And
Yes, commercials here and there, little small guest star spots at a young age. Some probably commercials you guys would know would be like Snuggles was one of my first ones. Did that one. I did one for UNICEF, which I don't know if anybody remembers that back then. We used to walk around with the little thing for like
yeah,
Halloween.
yeah.
I did a commercial for that once. I was actually on Saturday Night Live once with Jimmy Fallon. Not Jimmy,
No
yeah,
way.
Jimmy Fallon. I played a skit with him. So one day when I do one of his guests, I'm like, I already know you. Hello.
Yes, I was a kid. That is so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just something that you just naturally wanted to do.
Yeah. I mean, I was one of the lucky ones. I would say that like I've always just wanted to do this. It was always my passion. I knew from a very young age. And I also had supportive family and, parents that like just wanted that to happen for me, and they did everything in their power to make that happen, and I'm so grateful for that. But I would tell you, being a Latina woman, being a person of color, it was hard. And I tell people that I'm like, we deal with a lot, and especially in that industry, especially back in the day. I mean, this is before self-tape, guys. Any actors out there, could you imagine? This
Oh,
is going
true.
from go see, like in your car. And they called it go sees back then, not auditions. I dealt with a lot. So at the age of 18, I quit acting, actually. I was getting kind of beat down by the industry, You're too dark. You're not dark enough. Let's change your name. I don't want anybody to know you're Latina. You don't look Latina enough. You don't speak the language perfectly. You need to lose weight. It was just, you're too curvy. Put a bra on that didn't show your assets, right? So it was, as a 16-year-old, 17-year-old girl, like I was traumatized. I was literally like, I didn't know who I was. I came to a point where it's like, do I even like this?
Mm.
So I'm again grateful to my family who was like, you know what, Danielle, you need to take a pause because this is like, you need to find out who you are. Do you even like this? So I did that. I stopped everything. I went to college. I got my psychology degree. I worked in that field for 2 years. Then I went
Wow.
to cosmetology school. I got my cosmetology license, worked in that field for 2 years. And I think the big deciding factor is I had my son. So I have a child.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
how
7
old is
now,
he?
but
Oh, okay. I have a son too. I have a
yeah,
son too. I'm
yeah.
like, there's the best.
They are literally, and I remember sitting there and I was like 6 months pregnant and I was like, how am I going to tell this little boy to go after your dreams no matter what? And I'm literally not. Even though I was successful in these other careers, I was able to be stable. I was so not happy. And I was like, and I'm allowing not the craft, but like people to push me out, So that was my driving force. I was like, I'm going to go at this headstrong with my kid on my hip.
Wow.
And it's been flying since, like literally like one after the other. And I'm just like trying to hold on.
That is awesome. I love hearing this. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So this is me now. How did that pop up into your world?
Oh my God. Okay. So, of course, hello, Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer
It,
Lopez.
there's no me without her. I mean, I literally remember seeing Selena and being like, oh my God, I see me. And she has a butt and she has curves and she's from New York and she's Puerto Rican. And like, it was literally, I mean, I think I was Jennifer Lopez like 3 years in a row for Halloween. So like she has been one of my idols, one of the people that I look up to. And I got the audition and I did my best and I actually auditioned for multiple roles. And I remember when I got the role, I was like, I can't feel my feet. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be in the room with her. And literally the first day on set, I'm like in a scene just with me and her. And
Wow.
I'm like, oh my God. And I remember I had to like grab her because she was going through something. And I'm like grabbing her all nicely. And she like during the cut, she goes, grab me. And I was like, okay, you're Jennifer Lopez. I don't want to grab you.
Oh my gosh. So that was like the very first time. So walk me through that mental process. You're like, this is my idol. I was you for Halloween. And now here I am in the flesh, face to face, working with you. This is so surreal, right? I mean, what
Yes.
was going through your head?
Honestly, it was such a like full circle moment for me. You just have like staples in your life and you're like, all right. And I tell this to a lot of actors or people in the industry, give yourself things that you can be like, check. And it doesn't have to be a job per se. It could be, I did this in my life or whatever. This was definitely a check moment for me to be in the same scene as her, to be in the same movie as her, to alongside her, acting alongside her. It was like, I've accomplished that. Someone that I've looked up to for so long. And girl, I cannot say enough about this woman. She really was so kind, so nice to us, hung out with us, like off, like we were like chilling next to each other. Like she doesn't need to do that at all. She doesn't even need to say 2 words to us. She also, which I thought was lovely, allowed us to be creative. She asked us our thoughts. We improv a lot, which is like, you never get that. She really wanted this to be a collaborative thing and like very artistic. And also to just watch someone, again, a woman of color, to walk in and be like a boss and have a boss hat on, but also be an artist at the exact same time, blew my mind.
So inspiring. Let's talk about your character. You're described as the fighter. So, how is that role described to you? And how did it evolve, especially since you said that it was a very collaborative process and you were able to improv?
I think it definitely shifted. I think what's great is we didn't really know what was going to come of it. And I thought that was really good. The script was so loose that we didn't know, we could have went either way. And what ended up happening is like, the fighter is very Danielle. Like anybody in my life, like I'm a girl's girl. I will like have your back until the end. I'm very big, huge personality. And so they allowed me to bring that in. And what ended up happening, it was, in a sense, I was a fighter, but I was a fighter so hard for my girl that it was comical. And that's what we didn't know that was going to happen. I was like so passionate about being a fighter that it was like literally some of the lines that like came out of my mouth. I'm like, I don't even know why I said that.
Really? So, like, you were just like able to just flow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
remember one part of
really
me, there's
cool
a
freedom.
speech that we do, and it was like he was the director, Dave, is amazing, by the way. He goes, just that's your girl. Just tell her. And I'm like, I don't even care who you love. How about that? Like you for life. It just worked and it flowed. So definitely we did not expect it to be what it was, but it was magical. And I think that's the best part of art, right?
Yeah.
You don't like pinpoint things and you just let it flow and be.
Oh, totally. I mean, let's start off with one of the scenes that you're in too, the wedding scene. What was it like being a part of such an extravagant scene?
Well, first of all, I have to say it was like watching a concert. These freaking dancers. There's no way. For me, I'd be like, that's not my holy cow, over and over. And like, they were phenomenal. Jennifer is phenomenal, like phenomenal to be acting and then singing and then like jumping back and forth to dancing. It was, and everybody around her, like it was a party. Like we literally were having a good time. And of course, I'm with my posse, the friends who we have literally become friends. Like if anybody wants to know, we are really, I mean, Ashley right now, one of the friends just left my house. Like we are
Oh.
really cool. Like we are really, and what's so interesting is that we're all so different and
Mhm.
it works. It's such good casting and we are like a little family. And that's how we were on set. We were like a little posse and we stuck together and we helped each other out and had a blast. And it's something that we all are going to cherish and remember for the rest of our lives.
God,
Definitely.
so cool. So what was it like when you realized that you were also going to be a part of the music video?
Crazy because I've never been a part of a music video before. So I didn't know what that meant or what was going on. So when it hit, like I've had so many people come up to me like, you in this music video? And I'm like, yes, maybe. And I couldn't tell them back then, like, no, it's a movie. I'm not like turning into a video girl. I don't know. I
Oh
would
my
tell some industry friends, like, no, I have not changed careers.
Oh my gosh. So what was it like when you first saw the finished film? Like, what went through your mind?
What's crazy is that we had no idea how it was going to be put together. There was so many different elements and a lot of the stuff we saw was green screen. So it's like we didn't see the vision a lot of the times. So I had no expectations. Of course, that day was going to be phenomenal, right? But I was like, how? I was just so excited to be like, how are they going to put this together? And we went to the screening and it was blew me away. And then little old me, a little Puerto Rican girl from Westchester. I was like, I'm in the movie a lot. What? This is wild. It made me emotional. My mom was crying and it was everything for me. Definitely.
And then we have the intervention scene that you filmed with JLo. Is that where you were like, like grabbing her?
No, so there's a
No,
scene
no.
that she's in a abusive relationship and she's
Yes,
walking out and I'm like, oh my God, mira, oy, ay, go. And
yes, that's
she's like,
what.
F Libras. So that's the scene. But yes, that intervention scene was hilarious too, because I think that line was written, but they let me kind of to say it a bunch of different ways. And I just thought it was so my character to be like, kind of try to pick a fight with her right there. Like, what's wrong with that?
It sounds like it was just like a seamless kind of melding of your personality and the role.
I think it was very natural, and I'm so lucky. And I think a lot of actors in my position would agree. You could only hope to be on set and it just be natural and flow, and you could just be creative and free, and there's no nerves because it's just fun. And you don't always get that, but I'm very lucky that was the environment and it played on screen. Yeah, it was. We were really having fun. So I think that's the biggest thing. And that's where I think the best creativity comes from, right?
It does. So let's talk about the premiere and what was it like walking the red carpet for that?
Well, first of all, even though my dress was fantastic, I could not walk. I could not walk, girl. It was hysterical. So,
Oh,
of course, my friends were, the friends were like laughing at me because I'm like, wait for me. But it was amazing because I got to bring my son as my date,
oh.
7 years old in a little suit. And this is actually his second carpet because he's also an actor. In the new Griselda series, he plays her youngest son.
No way. I haven't even gotten a chance to watch that yet. So I'm gonna have to
Yes,
take a look.
him. Yeah, so this was his second. So he was a profesh. I was a little nervous for him, and I was like, Bob, just go on and whatever. He's like, Mom. Like this, he puts his thumbs up, puts his hand in his pocket, leans back with it, and that's it. And I'm so lucky because I'm like, not only it's like me and him in the world, but it's also like I'm sharing a profession with him. Whether, I was a child actor, right? So I kind of take the reins of how my parents did it with me. Is what he wants to do. It's so funny. Like, he came off of the Griselda series and he's like, Mom, that was a lot. I want a break. And I call his team up like, hey, boss wants a break. Like, I am not pushing it. Let's have
Oh,
fun. We're doing a lot of fun things. I mean, we're like a mom and son duo out and, trying to make it out here. But I thought, as long as he's loving it and doing what he wants, and he has so much fun. I mean, he really genuinely loves getting interviewed and doing the auditions, and he tells me action cut and all this. So it was a beautiful moment. And I just being on the carpet and being interviewed and again being able to talk about things with my idol is like crazy.
And then what's next for you? Like, because I'm like, I am loving your energy. I just see
Oh,
so many
thank
big
you.
things for you. I'm so excited for you.
So much. I accept that. I'm learning to say that. Because a
Yes,
lot of the times I feel like people tell you things and you're like, oh, no, no, no. Yes, I accept it.
receive
Thank
it.
you. I receive, right? I just got back from Chicago on another project. I don't know if I can speak on it yet, but I think by next week I can. But check me out. It's a TV show and I'm very, very excited and it's different. I think the biggest thing that everybody can watch out for me is that my goal in my career is to always expand and always do different things. I want as many diverse characters as I can because I want to push the envelope and I don't want to be boxed in, girl. And I don't want to be boxed in because that helps the girl behind me, right? So I'm like, listen, let me play the vampire, then I want to be in Bridgerton, then I want to be the lawyer, I want to be the cop, all of it. Okay?
I love it.
I want to do everything. So I think that's everyone's always talking about like I want this in my career. And that I think for me, it's just like I want as much diversity and I want people to be like, she can play everything. So that's what to look out for. Check out my IG. You're gonna see the next thing coming up next week. And then after that, I'm trucking along, girl.
Yes. And then I know you mentioned earlier, I just want to kind of get, what does Jennifer Lopez mean to you?
Like you have a desire in your heart, right? And when I saw her, it was kind of like I saw her and I saw the permission to go for it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's what I can only hope I can do for somebody else. It's like they see me and they're like, yeah, I can, because she did it. So I always tell everybody this when they ask me, like, I have actors that reach out to me and I reach out to actors that are, I feel like, more successful than me or whatever. And I always tell them, if I promise you, if it's in your heart, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Because it's hard. And I think a lot of people don't realize as long as you have the courage to keep going, because I do things every single day and I'm still scared. You just learn to have the courage to keep going and do it with fear.
Yeah.
And do it and just like the courage. So yeah, I think she represents to me permission. She represents to me courage, strength, like just so many things that I see. And like I think she mentioned it because her documentary came out too. And one of her documentaries, I saw a clip where she said, I do things every day scared. I'm still scared. She said, that's literally been my career. And that's how I feel. It's literally been my career. Every single thing I do, I'm like, huh. Like people always know they're like, oh, here comes Captain Chaos. Like I always have a meltdown before a role. I'm like, I can't. And my mom always comes over the night before and she like has my coffee waiting and she's like, get out the door, go, you'll be fine.
What is it like being a fan of her music career and, seeing how this film takes it to another level?
I thought it was much needed because, oh my God, those visuals for that music. And I think she stated that too. She was like, this music meant so much that it needed the story. And just putting that whole story together, she really did tell her story in her words. It humanizes her. I mean, because, oh my God, she's like epic, right? You think she's this like mogul and doesn't have feelings or whatever. Like, no, she's like human and feels and goes through shit like us. And it made me love her so much more to watch her go through and like the reasons why. And like, I mean, as a woman, for me, I had to say, to many frogs in my life, they're like, but I love you. No, you don't.
Yes.
Don't be back. No, I won't. Like how she says in the film, because, I have to pick up and start over. I think every woman can relate to that, or man, that it's like, I thought it was going to go this way and it's not going to go this way with a job or a relationship or whatever. And just to watch her really do that. And the song with the story, I think is very important.
What was it like getting a sneak preview of her album while you were filming?
Oh my God. I couldn't get the song out of my head.
Really?
And then I had to watch where I was singing it because I was like, oh, people don't know about it yet and I can get in trouble. So I'm like, literally can't get enough. And I was like, oh shit, I better shut up. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was everything. It was like, I felt like I was VIP. you know?
It's so true. So, and also I heard that like she was like inviting you guys to like her place and right? Is that true
True.
too?
Yes.
That's
I
insane.
literally was there for Christmas and I was like, I felt like I was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids because everything was like, I was like, everything is so beautiful and big and huge. And it was like magical. And oh, we had the best time. And you know what I really loved is that like it was really about relationship and everybody was just having a good time and hugging on each other and loving on each other. And there was no like media thing and nobody was taking pictures. Everyone was just like hanging out. Like I was dancing with J-Lo on the dance floor.
That is
Scared out of my
so
mind.
crazy.
All of a
Like,
sudden I forgot the two-step because I'm like next to her. And then she's like grabbing me to dance salsa. And I'm like, I forgot. I don't know. My mind's blank. And of course, I'm with the friends. So then Ashley's like, you better learn. You better remember. And I was like, okay, I'm going. But yeah, I mean, can't wait to go again. We had the best time and it was everything. And it felt like home. It felt like a family. She has really a
oh,
lot of great people around her that support her and love her and family. And that's what you could only want, right?
yeah, it's so true. Man, oh my gosh, Danielle, this was so cool getting a chance to talk to you, getting to know you. I can't wait to follow your journey.
Yes, please. The social media at Danielle Larracuente. I think I have a TikTok too, but I'm so new to that. Oh my God, I'm
Oh,
terrible. Thank
right.
you so much, though. I really appreciate it. This was lovely.
Yes, thank you. Okay, have a good one. Thanks, you
You
guys.
too. Bye.
Bye.